The person who looks the least impressive in the room is often the one with the most money. And the person performing wealth the loudest, usually the one with the least. Here are the 10 tells that actually separate real money from the performance of it. Tell 1. Their stuff is old, and it's old on purpose. Not broke old, chosen old. A watch worn for 15 years, a car kept until it actually dies, a jacket with a small repair instead of a replacement. This isn't about being unable to afford new things. It's the opposite. Genuine wealth stops needing things to look new because it was never about the newness in the first place. A worn leather bag that's been resold twice signals something a brand new version of the same bag never could. This person kept it because it worked, not because it impressed anyone. Tell 2. They're never in a rush, but somehow always on time. Financial security removes a specific kind of low-grade urgency from someone's whole demeanor. They're not sprinting to catch anything, because very little in their life is actually riding on catching it. Watch how someone reacts to a 15-minute delay. The person whose whole schedule is a tightly wound chain of obligations reacts very differently than someone whose day has actual slack built into it. And that slack tends to correlate with financial slack more than people expect. Tell 3. They have zero interest in logos. Not anti-logo as a statement, just genuinely indifferent. A visible brand name on a bag or belt is doing a job, announcing something. Real money doesn't need the announcement, so the logo stops being a feature worth paying extra for. If anything, some of the most expensive items owned by genuinely wealthy people are deliberately unbranded. Quality that speaks for itself doesn't need a label doing the talking for it. Tell 4. Their car is quietly unremarkable, and their house is where the actual money went. Flip the stereotype. The flashy car often means less has been invested elsewhere. The plain car in the driveway of a genuinely well-built financial life is one of the most reliable tells there is, precisely because a car is a depreciating asset sitting in plain view, while the actual wealth is usually sitting somewhere far less visible. A brokerage account, a paid-off property, a retirement fund nobody's ever seen the balance of. Tell 5. They talk about money like weather, not like a trophy. No humble bragging about a return, no performative modesty about a bonus. Just flat, unbothered, factual, because it isn't doing any emotional work for their identity. Ask about a good investment year and you'll get a shrug and a number, not a story engineered to make you feel something about their success. Before Tell 6, if you're enjoying spotting these patterns, subscribing helps this channel keep making videos like this one. Tell 6. They're the last person to bring up their job title. Ask what they do and you get a short, plain answer. No lingering on the word director or founder, no follow-up clarifying how impressive the role actually is. The title was never the point, and someone secure in their finances rarely needs it to be doing reputational work in a casual conversation. Tell 7. They save receipts and check statements, even though they clearly don't need to. The habit doesn't disappear once the balance gets comfortable. If anything, it gets more consistent, because the habit is what built the balance in the first place, not the other way around. The diligence came before the wealth, and it simply never stopped once the wealth arrived. Tell 8. They're weirdly patient with slow financial growth. No urgency to flip anything, chase anything, or catch a trend before it's over. Compounding rewards exactly this kind of patience, and people with real money have usually already watched it work over a decade or two, which makes them in even less of a hurry the next time a shiny opportunity shows up promising faster results. Tell 9. Their generosity is specific and quiet, not broadcasted. A tuition payment nobody hears about. A tab picked up without a comment. A quiet check written for someone going through something hard, with an explicit request that nobody make a thing of it. Genuine giving doesn't need an audience, which is exactly why it's so easy to miss from the outside. The version of generosity that gets seen publicly is often doing a different job entirely than the version that happens quietly. Tell 10, and this is the one that ties every other tell together. They'd be completely fine if it all disappeared tomorrow, and that fact is precisely why it won't. Real security isn't the size of the number. It's the complete absence of anxiety about the number. And that specific calm is nearly impossible to fake convincingly for long. Anxiety about money has a way of leaking out in small, hard-to-hide ways, and its absence is one of the most honest tells on this entire list. Here's the thread running through all 10. Performing wealth and having it are two different, sometimes opposite behaviors. Loud is often a symptom of not quite there yet. Quiet is usually a symptom of already secure and no longer interested in proving it. None of this means visible spending is automatically fake, or that quiet automatically means rich. Plenty of people are simply frugal without being wealthy at all, and plenty of genuinely wealthy people do enjoy visible spending without any of it being a performance. The point isn't to assume every quiet person is secretly loaded or every flashy person is secretly broke. It's that when you're actually trying to read the signal instead of the display, these 10 tells are a far more reliable measure than anything sitting in someone's driveway. So if you're not there yet, and almost nobody starts there, here's the short version of how these tells actually get built, not just recognized. You don't start by acting calm about money. You start by removing the things that make calm impossible. Automate the saving so the habit runs without willpower, same as tell 7 describes. Let possessions age instead of replacing them on a schedule, same as tell 1 describes. That alone quietly frees up money that would otherwise be funding the performance instead of the security. And resist the specific trade that funds most fake rich behavior, swapping long-term compounding for short-term appearance. Tell 8's patience isn't a personality trait some people are born with. It's usually just the visible result of having already made that trade correctly once and watched it pay off. The quietest person in the room is worth a second look. Not because quiet always means money, but because real money, once it's actually there, almost always sounds like this.